Part 1, The Relic's Call. The hum of the Kestrel's engines was a comforting purr beneath my feet, the vibration like a cat's lazy contentment. I leaned back in the pilot's chair, eyes fixed on the stars streaking past the viewport. They were like 1,000 fireflies in the black night, each one a tiny whisper of adventure and danger. But right now, all I wanted was sleep. Instead, I had the tang of stale coffee and a dashboard full of blinking lights to keep me company. "Zeke, you awake?" A voice crackled over the intercom, laced with static. I sighed, rubbing my eyes. Depends who's asking. If it's to take over laundry duty, I'm in a deep coma. Tara's laugh came through, a warm sound like a hearth in the cold void. "No, but I could use a hand in the cargo bay. The new shipment's acting up." Engines humming, lights blinking, cargo misbehaving. Typical day on a freighter. "On my way," I replied, stretching as I stood. The corridor leading to the cargo hold was dimly lit, narrow as a spine. I could hear the distant clatter of tools and Tara's muffled curses. When I reached her, I took in the scene, containers lashed to the walls, all safe except one that seemed to have developed a mind of its own. "What's this?" I asked, pointing at the rogue container as it jittered against its restraints. "Welcome to my nightmare," Tara replied dryly. She was short, all wiry strength and energy, with hair that seemed permanently mussed. "I think it sensed your fear." "Very funny, what's it doing?" "Nothing good, emitting some kind of field that's interfering with the gravity in here. I've been trying to shut it down manually, but—" She shrugged, holding up a screwdriver, the universal symbol for engineering frustration. As I knelt to inspect the container, something caught my attention. A small insignia, half covered in grime, gleaming faintly. It wasn't human. The alien script twisted like roots, pulsing slightly as if alive. "Where'd this come from?" I asked, tracing the symbol with a finger. It buzzed gently under my touch. Tara squinted at the label, picked it up from a derelict a few systems back, supposed to be just scrap metal. I should have known better. In space, one person's scrap metal is another's Pandora's box. Let me guess, no one mentioned it might play havoc with our systems. "Not a word," Tara replied, arms folded, her eyes fixed on the container as if daring it to misbehave further. I grunted, focusing on the container. "Well, whatever it is, we need to secure it unless you fancy living with zero-G floors." She shot me a sideways look. I was just getting used to it. With a few deft moves, I disabled the field by jamming the screwdriver into a panel, careful not to apply more force than necessary. Immediately, the container settled, as if mollified by my dubious engineering skills. Tara let out a breath. "Thanks, Zeke. Maybe you've got a future in exorcisms." I chuckled, but it was short-lived. In the quiet that followed, the Kestrel's comm buzzed with an incoming transmission, an unusual occurrence given our isolated route. "Captain Zeke, we're receiving a signal," came the voice of our communications officer, Lynn, over the intercom. Her voice was always calm, precise, like she had the universe's secrets at her fingertips. "Patch it through to the bridge," I called back, exchanging a look with Tara that said we both knew this day was about to get interesting in all the wrong ways. Back at the bridge, the main screen revealed static slowly resolving into an image, a figure draped in shadows, the background a swirl of stars and strange colors. The voice that spoke was soft, almost musical, carrying an alien cadence that tingled in my ear. "To the vessel Kestrel," the voice began, "I am Elendra of the Zyron. We have need of your assistance." I glanced at my crew, each one of them a pillar of skepticism. "What assistance?" I asked, feeling the weight of their united gaze on me. "Our relic has been stolen," Elendra continued, the image flickering. "It is of utmost importance. We believe it to be in your vicinity on a vessel much like your own." The room was silent except for the soft hum of the consoles. I could feel the unspoken question hovering in the air: what relic and why us? "And if we help, what do we get in return?" I asked, because nothing in space is free, not even goodwill. Elendra's eyes locked onto mine, luminous and unreadable. "You will have our gratitude and the promise of alliance, but know this, others search for it too, and they are not as diplomatic." I could hear Tara's quiet mutter behind me: "Diplomatic aliens, sounds like a trap." I couldn't argue with her, but curiosity and potential danger were a mix too potent to ignore. "We'll keep an eye out," I said finally, "but no promises." Elendra nodded once, face vanishing into static as the transmission ended. I leaned back in my chair, feeling the weight of a decision settling like an anchor in my gut. "Well, looks like we've got a treasure hunt on our hands, folks." Tara smirked, "Or we're the ones being hunted." Lynn tapped rapidly at her console. "I've got some readings, might be worth a look. There's an anomaly nearby, something big." "Anomaly and a relic," I said, letting the words roll like dice. "Let's hope they're not connected." Tara raised an eyebrow, "And if they are?" "Then we'll need all the luck we can get," I replied, setting a course for the anomaly. The Kestrel's engines surged, the tremble beneath my feet a familiar thrill. As the stars shifted outside, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were about to be drawn into something far beyond our understanding, and perhaps beyond any of our expectations. Part 2: Through the Anomaly. Space folded around the Kestrel as we neared the anomaly, a kaleidoscope of colors swirling in a dance that defied natural law. I stood at the helm, mesmerized by the cosmic display, feeling like a sailor of old steering toward the edge of the world. The viewscreen filled with the shimmer of the unknown, a cosmic aurora that whispered secrets with every flicker. "Is it just me, or does that look like the universe throwing a party without inviting us?" Tara quipped from her station, her eyes reflecting the colors. Lynn glanced up from her console, her fingers darting over the keys with practiced ease. "Readings are off the charts. I've never seen energy signatures like these." "Let's just hope it's not planning to crash our ship with a surprise gift," I replied, my voice lighter than I felt. Beneath the bravado lay a thrum of excitement and fear. A part of me wondered what the Zyran relic had to do with this otherworldly phenomenon, but questions would have to wait until we were clear of whatever cosmic mischief we were flying into. The moment we crossed the threshold, the Kestrel shuddered. Lights flickered, systems blipped, and I gripped the armrests as gravity played tricks. It was as if the ship was being shaken by invisible hands, eager to see what fell loose. "Brace," I shouted, though it was more instinct than necessity. My crew knew the drill, gripping whatever was bolted down. A low groan echoed through the hull, the ship protesting the abuse. "We're stable," Lynn reported, her voice calm against the chaos. "Define stable," Tara quipped, holding onto a rail with white-knuckled determination. "Stable enough," Lynn replied with a hint of mirth. "But I'm reading something new, disturbance at the heart of the anomaly. It's structured." Tara's eyebrows shot up. "You mean like a station or a ship?" "Not sure," Lynn admitted, "but it's big whatever it is." My mind raced through possibilities as I guided the Kestrel deeper into the anomaly's embrace. The swirling colors hugged us like a living creature, and at its heart, something enormous loomed, a shadow in the cosmic storm. As we drew closer, details emerged. A colossal edifice, alien in design, hovering against the backdrop of vibrant chaos. Massive arches connected through a labyrinth of corridors, like veins in a cosmic beast. It was a megastructure, unlike anything I had ever seen. Amazing, Tara breathed, captivated by the sight. Whoever built this didn't do half measures. What do you think it is? I asked, the question hanging between us like a weight. Could be a research station or a relic of a civilization long gone, Lynn suggested, her analytical mind dissecting the possibilities. But there's something else. I'm picking up life signs. Friendly? Tara asked, though we all knew the answer was rarely simple in places like this. Indeterminate, Lynn replied, but they're active. Well, let's find out who's home, shall we? I said, steering us toward an entrance that yawned open like a gate to another world. The Kestrel settled into a docking bay, the massive structure dwarfing our ship. As we disembarked, the air felt different, heavier, imbued with a strange energy that thrummed in my bones. The corridor stretched ahead, lined with alien glyphs that pulsed with a soft, rhythmic light. Feels like walking inside a living organism, Tara remarked, tapping the walls. They vibrated gently under her touch, responding like a purring creature. Let's stick together, I cautioned. No idea what's waiting for us. As we ventured deeper, the sense of being watched grew. Shadows moved at the edges of vision, and whispers echoed in the air, nonsensical and haunting. We followed the pulsing glyphs, each step drawing us further into the mystery. We rounded a corner, and there it was, a chamber vast enough to house a small city. At its center stood a monolithic structure, a spiraled column reaching toward the ceiling. Around it, figures moved, their forms fluid and luminescent. The Zyren, Elendra's people, though they appeared more ethereal here, like mirages in the light. Their presence was both serene and unsettling, as if they belonged to another dimension. One approached, its form shifting with every step. "Welcome, travelers," it intoned, voice resonant as if echoing from the depths of the universe. "We are the keepers of the relic." I inclined my head, feeling the weight of their gaze. "We're here to help," I said, the words feeling small in the vastness of the chamber. "But we need to know what we're dealing with." The keeper gestured to the spiraled column. "The relic, it is both a beacon and a guardian. It connects us to the core of creation." "A beacon," Tara echoed, eyes wide with curiosity. "For what?" "For knowledge and for those who seek it," came the reply, cryptic yet profound. "But there are others, dangerous ones, looking for it," I pressed. "They sent us to find it." "The keeper's form darkened momentarily, a ripple of concern. "Yes, they come to corrupt, to take what cannot be owned. You must choose, Zeke of the Kestrel. Will you protect the relic or claim it?" The choice hung in the air, heavy with consequence. My mind churned with possibilities, the fate of the unknown and the familiar balanced on a knife's edge. The relic stood as a symbol of power and mystery, its allure undeniable. I glanced at Tara and Lynn, their trust in me unwavering. The path was clear, though fraught with peril. "We'll protect it," I declared, my voice firm. The keeper nodded, a gesture of gratitude and respect. "Then come, for the storm is upon us." As we prepared to stand against the encroaching darkness, I felt the weight of my decision settle within me. A choice that would define not just this moment, but the future of the Kestrel and her crew, bound together by the mysterious call of the relic. Part 3: Echoes of the Forgotten. The murmur of the Zyren keepers filled the chamber like a symphony of the stars, their fluid movements casting ethereal reflections on the spiraled column, the relic. We followed their lead as they guided us deeper into the megastructure, through corridors that twisted like the double helix of creation itself. Every step echoed with history, layer upon layer of forgotten voices whispering secrets lost to time. "Does anyone else feel like we're walking through the library of an ancient god?" Tara mused, her hand tracing the luminescent glyphs that pulsed with a soothing rhythm. I half expect to find a cosmic librarian shushing us. That would make you a target then, Lynn replied, her tone dry as ever. She walked beside us, eyes scanning for potential threats as much as for wonder. Focus, folks, I interjected, though humor lightened the weight in my chest. We're guests here. Let's not overstay our welcome. As we rounded a bend, a hall unfolded before us, vast and solemn. At its center lay a dais, surrounded by arches that spiraled upward like the petals of a colossal flower. The air was different here, charged and heavy, as if the fabric of reality had thinned. "The relic resides within," the lead keeper intoned, stepping aside as if inviting us into their sacred temple. I approached the dais, feeling the pull of the relic as a tangible force. A shimmer in the air caught my eye. There, in a pedestal at its base, lay a small object, the heart of this place's mystery. It looked like a fragment of the cosmos itself, a piece of the night sky imbued with a subtle glow. "This is it?" I asked, my voice reverent, as if louder words might shatter the moment. "Yes," the keeper replied, their form shifting in the soft light. "The heart of the relic. It channels the knowledge of the ancients, yet it is fragile, vulnerable." "Vulnerable to what?" Tara asked, her curiosity tempered by caution. "Corruption and the desires of those who would exploit its power," the keeper answered, their gaze resting on the fragment with a kind of mournful devotion. Lynn stepped forward, her analyst's eyes keen. "Why does it need protection now? What's changed?" "Other seekers have sensed its presence," the keeper explained, their voice a harmonic echo. "They come with greed in their hearts, blind to the symphony it offers." A rumble vibrated through the walls, a low growl that set my teeth on edge. I exchanged a look with Tara and Lynn, both of whom mirrored my unease. Whatever was outside, it had arrived. "Looks like the party came to us," I said, glancing toward the entrance where shadows flickered, their intentions unreadable. "Prepare yourselves," the keeper said, their form becoming more defined like a wave finding shape. "The relic must be protected at all costs." Gritting my teeth, I barked orders. "Tara, Lynn, defensive positions. We don't know who or what we're dealing with, but we've got to hold this ground." The hum of anticipation filled the air as we took our positions. Tara armed the blasters, her expression focused, while Lynn set up a field generator, a shimmer of energy coalescing around the dais, a fragile shield against the storm about to break. The first wave hit us like a tidal surge. Figures emerged from the shadows, pirates, scavengers, their eyes gleaming with the ravenous hunger of those who have never seen enough. They moved in concert, a chaotic rhythm of violence and ambition. "Get ready," I shouted, gripping my blaster, the comforting weight a reminder of countless battles fought and survived. The chamber exploded into chaos. Blaster fire lit the darkness, illuminating the faces of those who would claim the relic as their own. Their determination was palpable, but so was our resolve. We fought with the ferocity of those defending not just a thing, but an idea, a future unchecked by greed. Tara fired with precision, her movements as fluid as the Zyren themselves. Lynn maintained the field, her focus unwavering amidst the storm. Each shot I took was a promise, a vow that this place, this chamber of echoes, would remain untouched by the hands of those who seek only to take and never to understand. The tide of battle surged, each moment stretching into eternity. The keepers moved among us, their presence a serene counterpoint to the chaos, their forms intertwining with light and shadow, weaving through the melee with an elegance that defied the violence around them. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it was over. The scavengers retreated, their assault halted by our defense and perhaps by the silent warning of the relic's power. In the quiet aftermath, I surveyed the chamber. Smoke hung in the air, mingling with the scent of ozone and determination. We had held the line, the relic safe and untouched. The keeper approached, their form a silhouette against the dais. "You have done well, Zeke of the Kestrel. The heart remains." Tara let out a breath, wiping sweat from her brow. "Let's hope they got the message." "Indeed," Lynn said, inspecting the shield generator. "But I doubt they'll give up so easily." "I know," I replied, nodding. "But we'll be ready. We've got something worth fighting for." The keeper inclined their head, a gesture of respect. "The relic is grateful, and so are we." As we prepared to leave, I cast one last look at the heart of the relic. Its glow seemed brighter, as if acknowledging our efforts, our choice to protect rather than possess. We walked back through the corridors, the weight of the encounter settling into our bones. The Kestrel awaited us, her engines a song of home in the vastness of space. The anomaly still swirled outside, a cosmic mystery that had yet to reveal all its secrets. But we had time, and more importantly, we had each other, a crew bound by the promise of the stars and the call of the unknown. And that, in the end, was the greatest adventure of all. Part 4, Tempest in the Rift. The airlock cycled open with a hiss as we returned to the Kestrel, its familiar hum embracing us like an old friend eager to share stories. My crew and I walked across the metal deck, our steps steady with the weight of recent events. Behind us, the colossal shadow of the alien megastructure loomed, its mysteries mostly intact, yet forever altered by our presence. I took my seat at the helm, feeling the comfortable fit of the chair mold to my form. Tara dropped into her station with practiced grace, while Lynn moved to her console, fingers already dancing over keys in a familiar rhythm. "So what's next?" Tara asked, her eyes meeting mine with a glint that was both challenge and camaraderie. "We can't just sit here and wait for another wave of would-be conquerors." "No, we can't," I agreed, running through the options in my mind. "We need to understand what that structure really is, how it connects with the anomaly, and more importantly, what other players are involved." Lynn's voice cut through the air, clear and sharp. "I've been analyzing the energy patterns in the anomaly. There's a fluctuation, a pulse that's increasing in frequency." "What kind of pulse?" I asked, my interest piqued by the shift in the cosmic tide. "Like a heartbeat," Lynn replied, eyes fixed on data streams that flitted across her screen. "If I didn't know any better, I'd say the anomaly is alive." Tara raised an eyebrow, lips curling in a half-smile. "So, we're sitting inside a living cosmic entity. That's a new one for the logbook." I turned to Lynn, the gears of my mind already spinning. "How do we use this information?" Lynn's eyes met mine, bright with the thrill of discovery. "The pulses might be a form of communication. If we can decode it, we might learn why it's here and what it wants." "Or it's calling for backup," Tara added dryly, her caution a counterbalance to Lynn's enthusiasm. "That's a risk we'll have to take," I decided, the weight of command settling comfortably on my shoulders. "Lynn, try to sync our systems with the pulse. Let's see if we can establish contact. Tara, keep an eye on any incoming ships. We've had enough surprises for one day." As Lynn set to work, I felt the familiar undercurrent of tension weave through the ship, a mix of anticipation and dread, like standing at the precipice of a great unknown. The Kestrel systems thrummed in response to Lynn's adjustments, lights dimming briefly as we tuned in to the anomaly's song. Minutes stretched into an eternity, the silence filled only by the low hum of the ship and the occasional beep of Tara's scanners. Then, without warning, A new presence swept through the Kestrel, an electric charge that danced along my skin and whispered in my ear. "Zeke," Lynn said, her voice hushed with awe, "we're receiving something." The view screen flickered, patterns of light and color coalescing into form, a vast, swirling entity that seemed to pulse and breathe with the rhythm of a distant star. Its gaze, if such an alien consciousness could be said to possess one, was unfathomable, an ocean of possibilities stretching beyond understanding. "We mean no harm," I said, unsure if words could bridge the chasm between us, yet compelled to try. "We seek knowledge and understanding." Colors shifted, patterns shifted. The entity's form remained, but it pulsed with a new energy, a symphony of light that resonated through the ship. "It's responding," Lynn whispered, eyes wide as she attempted to decode the message hidden within the patterns. "It's sharing." I watched, transfixed, as images flashed across the screen, planets spinning in harmony, stars being born and dying in cosmic ballet, civilizations rising and falling in the blink of an eye. And through it all, a single thread wove the tapestry together, a delicate balance of creation and destruction. "It's a warning," Lynn said finally, her voice filled with a mix of fear and wonder. "The anomaly is a guardian of sorts, a protector of this balance, but something is coming, something that threatens to unravel it." Tara exhaled slowly, her eyes meeting mine with a seriousness that was rare for her. "And I'm guessing that something isn't known for its culinary skills." "No," I replied, gripping the armrests with renewed determination. "It's a force of destruction and it's heading our way. We need to stop it before it reaches the anomaly." "But how?" Lynn asked, the enormity of the task hanging heavy in the air. "We learn from the pulse," I replied, the path ahead clear to me now. "The information it's given us, we use it to prepare, to defend. The anomaly knows more than we ever could, and it's willing to guide us." The Kestrel hummed in agreement, her systems aligning with the pulse's rhythm, ready to act as our beacon in the coming storm. We had glimpsed the heartbeat of the cosmos, and in it, a chance to protect what was most precious, a universe in balance, threatened by the encroaching darkness. As we set coordinates to intercept whatever doom approached, the Kestrel surged forward, engines purring with confident power. We were no longer just travelers but guardians, standing at the threshold of an epic battle in the heart of the infinite. Part 5: Convergence at the Star's Edge. Space unfolded before us like a vast tapestry, the stars winking into view as the Kestrel slipped from the anomaly's embrace. The ship felt alive, a companion in our quest to stave off the impending threat. Lynn's decoding had uncovered a path, a cosmic corridor leading to the star's edge where the anomaly warned us the danger would manifest. Tara busied herself prepping the weapons systems, her movements efficient and focused. "So, what exactly are we gearing up to face out here?" she asked, her tone a careful balance of sarcasm and curiosity. "Something big, fast, and potentially unpleasant," I replied, not for the first time wishing the universe offered clearer instructions. The pulse hinted at a weapon, something ancient, yet alive, moving through these systems. Lynn looked up from her console, a flash of determination in her eyes. "We've got the coordinates. Whatever it is, it's heading here from across the dark nebula, not a place known for its hospitality." "Then we intercept before it reaches the anomaly," I said, my decision firm. "We can't let it breach the natural order." Tara grinned, a fierce light in her eyes. "This day just keeps getting better. Let's make sure we're the uninvited guests they dread." As we accelerated toward our destination, I felt the weight of responsibility settle over me like a cloak. Protecting the anomaly and the balance it upheld was now our mission, our burden to bear. The Kestrel shivered in anticipation, her frame attuned to the cosmic pulse that guided us like a lodestar. Approaching the coordinates, Lynn announced as we entered a region of space blurred by stellar winds and dust, a tumultuous sea forging our path. The view screen displayed a maelstrom of color, a star's corona spilling crimson and gold like a painter's palette across the void. And there, amid the cosmic spectacle, was our adversary, a shadow moving against the light, a singular darkness advancing over the stellar horizon. "That's no ordinary ship," Tara observed, her voice low as if in respect for the behemoth unveiling itself before us. And she was right. The vessel rode the solar winds like a leviathan, its form shifting between reality's fabric and something else, a shadowy construct woven from night's own essence. It was both solid and immaterial, a paradox given form. "It's drawing power from the star," Lynn said, eyes wide with realization. "That's why the anomaly reacted. This thing feeds on celestial energy." The truth settled over us like a shock wave. This was a predator of stars, a cosmic entity seeking sustenance from the very hearts of solar systems. "Options?" I asked, the question hanging in the cockpit like an unspoken challenge. Tara, undeterred by the scale of the thing, offered her usual brand of pragmatism. Blast it before it gets a good grip, or find a way to cut off its food supply. Lynn frowned, fingers moving over her console in a blur. "If it's feeding on solar energy, we might be able to disrupt its connection, temporarily weaken it." "Then we'll take that chance," I decided. "Lynn, create a feedback loop to overload its siphoning systems. Tara, get ready for a fight." The Kestrel roared forward, engines flaring in defiance of the looming threat. The shadow ship loomed larger, its structure a dizzying blend of harsh angles and shifting void. As Lynn worked to destabilize its energy flow, the ship seemed to shudder, the shadow retracting like a creature disturbed in its lair. "Now Tara," I ordered, and the Kestrel sprang into action, our weapons blazing a trail of light across the cosmic stage. The first volley struck true, the energy rippling through the shadow ship's form. It recoiled, a silent roar echoing through the void, but its momentum did not slow. It was a force of nature, seeking to fulfill its purpose despite our interference. "Keep hitting it," I urged, the adrenaline roaring in my veins. But the shadow ship had its own arsenal. Beams of concentrated energy lanced out, skimming past the Kestrel with deadly precision. The ship shuddered under the assault, alarms blaring a discordant symphony as we danced a deadly duet in the star's radiant embrace. "We can't hold it forever," Lynn warned, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Then we finish it," I replied, the only path forward crystallizing in my mind. "We lure it deeper into the star's gravity well. If it feeds on stars, let's see how much it can handle." Tara's eyes lit with understanding. "You want to overfeed the beast." "Exactly," I nodded, steering us closer to the star's turbulent surface. "Increase output to maximum and prepare for evasive maneuvers." The Kestrel surged toward the star, engines straining against the pull that sought to draw us in. The shadow ship followed, a predator heedless of its own limits. Its attempts to siphon energy grew frantic, the form flickering with instability. "Now," I commanded, and the Kestrel veered sharply our trajectory shifting, just as the shadow ship reached its zenith of greed. The star's energy surged, an unfathomable tide that engulfed the shadow ship. It writhed, form disintegrating under the celestial onslaught, unable to contain the feast it had sought. In a flash of brilliance, it imploded, folding back into the void from which it had emerged. Silence fell over us, the stars corona a gentle embrace in the aftermath of destruction. The Kestrel drifted, the hum of the engines a lullaby of survival. We had stopped the predator, saved the anomaly and the balance it protected. "Well, that was a light show," Tara remarked, her voice a mix of relief and satisfaction. Lynn exhaled, tension slipping from her shoulders. "We did it." I nodded, the vastness of space stretching endlessly ahead, our path illuminated by the cosmos and our own small victories. We had stood as guardians, not just of the anomaly, but of the light that binds the universe together, a beacon against the darkness, shining bright. Part 6: The Keeper's Choice. The Kestrel sailed through the tideless expanse, the aftermath of our victory like the calm following a tempest. Stars adorned the sky, a constellation of promises kept and futures unwritten. Yet even amid the tranquility, a sense of unfinished business lingered like a shadow at the edge of vision. "We did it," Lynn said softly, her relief palpable as her fingers drifted over the console. "Stopped it before it could reach the anomaly." "Yeah, but for how long?" Tara's voice carried a pragmatic edge, a reminder that one battle does not conclude a war. There could be more out there. I leaned back in the captain's chair, the leather molding to my form, thoughts as restless as dust devils. We need answers. The anomaly, the relic, it's all connected in ways we don't yet understand. Lynn nodded, her gaze distant as if she could see beyond the stars. The keepers might have some insights. They're ancient, after all. They might know the origins of these star predators. Tara turned, her chair swiveling with a soft creak. "And maybe they can tell us why the universe has decided to play fast and loose with reality lately." Our path led us back to the anomaly, its cosmic dance ongoing, an eternal waltz of color and light. The megastructure loomed once more, its presence both a comfort and a reminder of the mysteries still to uncover. As the Kestrel nestled into the docking bay, a sense of familiarity washed over me, grounding me in the surreal. The hallways greeted us with their iridescent glow, the glyphs pulsing like a cosmic heartbeat aligning with our own. The keepers awaited in the central chamber, their forms blending with the light. "Welcome back, travelers," the lead keeper intoned, their presence resonating with an unearthly calm. "You have preserved the balance." "Temporarily," I replied, meeting their gaze with resolve. "But we need to understand what we're up against. These Star Eaters, they're a threat to everything, and we need to know if more will come." The keeper's form shimmered, a ripple of acknowledgement. They are echoes of a forgotten era, a remnant of the cycle that once governed the cosmos. "Are there more?" Lynn asked, her eyes focused and sharp, seeking knowledge in the depths of the keeper's eyes. "There could be," the keeper replied, their voice a gentle wave. "But they are not the true danger. The relic, in its wisdom, has chosen you to become its guardians, to defend the balance." "Guardians," Tara repeated, a wry smile playing on her lips. "I thought we were just passing through." "The relic sees beyond time and space, and it has selected you, Zeke of the Kestrel. Not by chance, but by the harmony you bring." The words settled over me like a mantle I never sought but felt inevitable. We had been drawn into this web of destiny, a role thrust upon us by the cosmos itself. "What does it mean to be guardians?" Lynn asked, her voice tinged with curiosity and a hint of trepidation. The keeper gestured to the spiraled pillar, the heart of the relic gleaming at its center. "To guard is to preserve, not just the relic but the truths it holds, the symphony of existence." Tara stepped closer, her expression contemplative. "And if we accept this responsibility, what becomes of us?" "You will be bound to the relic's purpose," the keeper explained. "To wander the stars, to stand watch over the balance, to learn from its whispers." I looked to my crew, their faces a tapestry of emotions. This choice would alter our path irrevocably, but the alternative, to walk away from the chance to protect the universe's fragile equilibrium, felt impossible. I think we knew the moment we set foot here, I said, my voice steady, resonating with the truth I'd come to accept. The universe chose us, and so do I will be the guardians it seeks. Lynn and Tara nodded, their support unwavering, a shared commitment deepening the bond between us. The keeper's form brightened, a luminescent acknowledgement of our resolve. Then take what you have learned and go forth. The relic will guide your journey. The glyphs pulsed in time with a silent anthem, a farewell and a benediction. As we returned to the Kestrel, the weight of our decision settled comfortably over my shoulders. The universe had called us to its service, and we had answered. The engines roared to life, a familiar symphony of power and potential. As we departed the megastructure, the anomaly embraced us with its colors, a tapestry of infinite stories yet to be told. Together we would stand watch over this starry expanse, protectors of a fragile harmony. And in doing so, we had found not just our place in the cosmos, but the true essence of our journey, a voyage into the heart of the unknown, with the relic's call echoing in our souls. Part 7. The Riddle of Echoes. The Kestrel sliced through the expanse of space like an arrow loosed into the night, her engines humming a lullaby of stardust and endless horizons. We, her crew, were no longer mere wanderers but guardians of a cosmic balance, a mantle of responsibility that hung around us with the gentle weight of a new dawn. Our course was charted by the relic's whispers, its influence a guiding star in the vast darkness. Yet, even as we embraced this role, questions lingered like specters in the shadows of our minds. "What's next on our list of cosmic chores, O fearless leader?" Tara asked, her tone light but her gaze harboring an earnest curiosity. "The relics pointed us toward the Lurian expanse," I replied, consulting the navigational chart, a web of constellations and nodes that blinked like a city skyline. "There's something there we need to understand. Apparently, it's a convergence point." Lynn looked up from her console, the reflected starlight painting her face with intrigue. "Convergence of what?" "That's what we're going to find out," I said, setting the course that would take us deeper into the tapestry of the unknown. The Lurian expanse was a place steeped in legend, a region of space where tales spoke of time shifts and echoing realities. As we entered its domain, the very fabric of space seemed to shimmer, an iridescent curtain draping itself over the stars. "It's like flying through a painting," Tara mused, her eyes wide with wonder. "I half expect to find a cosmic artist with a very large brush out here." "Let's hope they're friendly," Lynn retorted, her focus riveted to the readings that streamed across her screen. "I'm picking up unusual temporal fluctuations. Time isn't flowing normally here." As if to underscore her words, the Kestrel's sensors blinked with erratic signals, a symphony of data that danced like a flock of startled birds. A chill prickled at the back of my neck. Could be echoes, remnants of past events overlapping with the present. "Echoes we'll have to navigate carefully," Lynn added, her fingers a blur over the controls. "I'm trying to stabilize our temporal field to keep us anchored." The deeper we traveled, the more the expanse revealed its secrets. Space folded with subtle shivers, the view outside warping in gentle waves. Between the stars, ghostly images flickered, scenes from ships long gone, moments frozen in the cosmic current. "Are those ships?" Tara asked, leaning forward, eyes narrowing at the phantoms drifting alongside us. "Ships and fragments of history," I confirmed, intrigued by the sight. "We're seeing echoes of the past, events that have left their mark on this place." "Think we can learn something from them?" Tara asked, her voice tinged with hope for discovery. "We might," I replied, scanning for any patterns amid the ethereal chaos. "If we can sync our systems with these echoes, we might uncover records, maybe even messages left by travelers like us." As Lynn worked to align our sensors with the rhythm of the expanse, a stream of data coalesced on her screen, a sequence of coordinates, time-stamped with a history longer than memory. "We've got something," Lynn said, excitement threading her voice. "Looks like a sort of archive, a record of events tied to this region." I studied the data, my heart quickening at the possibilities unraveling before us. Let's dig in. We're looking for anything that might explain these convergence points or the threats we've encountered. The Kestrel sailed onward, our trajectory weaving through the ghostly remnants of history. Each echo we touched upon whispered its own tale, a tapestry woven from the threads of time, each story a spark in the darkness. One tale stood out, a particularly vivid echo of a ship not unlike our own. As we delved deeper, a message emerged, a transmission from an unknown captain, his voice like a wind-blown leaf. "This is Captain Arlen of the starship Aurora," the message began, crackling with static and the weight of ages. "We discovered a rift here, a place where realities converge. Beware, for it is both a beacon and a prison." "A prison," Tara echoed, glancing at me with a furrowed brow. "What does he mean?" "Perhaps something's trapped within these echoes," Lynn suggested, her gaze thoughtful. "Something trying to influence the universe from within the convergence." The implications settled over us like a shroud, a prison of echoes, an influence stretching through time and space. Whatever this presence was, it held the power to disrupt reality's delicate balance. "We need to learn more," I decided, my resolve hardening. "If the relic led us here, there must be a reason. We're not just witnessing history, we might be called to change it." The Kestrel's course adjusted, sensors attuned to the whispers of the expanse, a symphony of possibilities that sang of the past and hinted at the future. In this realm of echoes and enigmas, we would seek the truth, uncover the heart of the convergence, and perhaps glimpse the edges of the universe's tapestry, a grand design in which we, the Guardians, now found our place. Part 8: The Fractured Continuum. As we navigated deeper into the Lurian expanse, the Kestrel felt like a lone ship sailing through an ocean of glass, each ripple and shimmer a reflection of time fractured and malleable. The echoes of the past wove around us, forming a tapestry dense with possibility and peril. Tara leaned back, her chair rolling slightly with the gentle pitch of the ship. "Feels like we're inside a clock about to strike midnight, and every tick could change everything." "More like a clock with too many hands and not enough faces," Lynn quipped, fingers dancing over her console as she attempted to decode the chaotic pulse of data. "I'm picking up stronger signals as we approach the coordinates. Something's trying to communicate, but it's tangled in the echoes." I nodded, eyes on the view screen where ghostly images flickered, a parade of spectral ships that had once sailed these cosmic seas. Each one a story untold, a witness to the convergence of realities. "Keep us steady, Lynn," I said, the weight of the task pressing like gravity. "We need clarity if we're going to understand what's at stake." The heart of the expanse drew closer, a nexus where the boundaries of reality thinned and the echoes sang in chorus. The Kestrel moved with purpose, each instrument attuned to the peculiar rhythm of this fractured continuum. "There it is," Lynn announced, pointing to a rupture in space, a tear in the cosmic fabric that shimmered with the hues of 1,000 sunsets. "The convergence point." Tara stared at the rift, her eyes narrowing as if gauging a formidable adversary. "So, what's the plan, O fearless leader? We just stroll in and ask it nicely to reveal its secrets. Something like that, I replied, though my mind churned with uncertainty. If this rift is both a beacon and a prison like Captain Arlen suggested, then we need to understand who or what it's holding. Lynn guided the Kestrel closer, the ship responding to her touch like a well-tuned instrument. As we approached, the rift expanded, an aperture into infinity, spilling light untainted by the darkness beyond. Registering unusual energy patterns, Lynn said, her eyes flicking over the data. It's like a message caught in a loop, repeating but never heard. Maybe it's time someone listened, Tara said with a wry smile, her confidence a balm against the unknown. The rift loomed before us, an open doorway into other realms, and with a breath held in collective anticipation, we crossed its threshold. The Kestrel's sensors flared, a symphony of readings cascading across the screens, a kaleidoscope of timelines merging into one. Inside, space felt different, weighted with a presence that defied definition. Whispers drifted through the hull, not in words but in a resonance that vibrated in my very bones. The rift was alive, a consciousness seeking connection. I felt it then, a thread of understanding weaving through my thoughts, a voice, ancient and timeless, brushing against my mind like a gentle tide. Guardians, the word rippled through me, a call and a recognition all at once. You have come. Tara Lynn, do you? I began, but their expressions told me they felt it too, a connection shared through the bond of the relic. We're here, I replied, my voice a quiet echo in the vastness. What are you? Why are you here? The presence swirled, images unfolding like petals of a cosmic flower. Civilizations long gone, stars newly born, and the ceaseless march of time, all converging here, a grand design inextricably linked to the rift. I am the echo, the voice responded, a symphony of memories coalescing into thought. I am woven from the remnants of what has been and what may yet be. This place is both sanctuary and ward. My presence guards the continuum. A guardian of realities, Lynn mused, awe-threading her voice as the presence filled the space around us. But what are you guarding against? Tara asked, her eyes narrowing as she sought understanding. The echo's presence trembled, a shiver of anticipation. The balance is fragile. Forces move at the edges of existence, seeking to unravel the tapestry. The convergence is threatened. Images flashed, a maelstrom of shadow and starlight, a force unseen moving against the weave of the universe. It was the dark presence we'd already skirted, a harbinger of chaos intent on extinguishing the light. So we stop it, I said, resolute in our role as protectors. How can we help? The echo's essence pulsed in response, a cascade of energy flowing through the Kestrel and into us, suffusing us with the knowledge of ages. We became conduits of wisdom and power, the relic's voice amplifying the echo's own. Through unity, through understanding, the echo intoned, the words a melody of hope. Together we weave the light. The rift shimmered, a beacon blazing against the encroaching darkness, and as we absorbed the echo's gift, I felt the universe expand within me, a symphony of possibility. Unfurling as we prepared to defend the continuum. Together with the echo's guidance and the relic's embrace, we stood ready to face the storm. A confluence of time and destiny united in purpose, to guard the fragile balance, to preserve the light against the coming shadow. Part 9: The Shadow's Embrace. As the echo's energy coursed through us, the Kestrel became an extension of our will, every console and screen vibrating with the resonant hum of the universe's secrets. The rift's light bathed the ship in ethereal hues, the very air thrumming with anticipation. "We're ready," I announced, feeling the weight of infinite stars pulsing in my chest. The Echo had gifted us with its knowledge, and with it, a path forward, a way to defend this fragile convergence from the darkness threatening to unravel it. Tara glanced at the view screen, where the edges of the rift shimmered like a living painting. "So, we're guardians with a cosmic light show. What's our next move?" Lynn, her eyes reflecting the swirl of colors outside, was already aligning our sensors to track the approaching threat. "We've gotta act fast. I'm picking up an anomaly on the outskirts of the rift, a distortion where none should be." My heart skipped, a drumbeat echoing the urgency. "That's our target, the force the Echo warned us about." The Kestrel swung into motion, engines purring as we moved away from the rift's heart and toward the growing presence of darkness. Time seemed to accelerate and decelerate in turns, a reminder that in this fractured continuum, every moment held potential. The shadow emerged on the view screen, a rippling void against the brilliance of space. Unlike the predator we'd faced before, this was subtler, its ambition vast and insidious. It was a presence that slithered between dimensions, seeking to consume the light from within. "There it is," Tara said, her voice a mix of awe and determination. "Not exactly a friendly face." "Remember what the Echo said," I reminded them, the words woven into my thoughts. "Unity and understanding, we need to use what we've learned to counter it." As the Kestrel drew closer, the shadow expanded, amorphous tendrils reaching outward, probing, searching for weakness. "Energy patterns are fluctuating," Lynn reported, her fingers a blur across the controls. "It's destabilizing the fabric of reality around the rift, trying to collapse it from the inside." "Not on our watch," I said, our course set. "Lynn, feed the Echo's energy into our systems. With its guidance, we can stabilize the rift." The ship responded to our will, the Echo's light infusing our shields, our weapons, a beacon of resilience against the encroaching darkness. Tara, at her post, prepared to engage with a confidence that mirrored my own resolve. "Let's see if it likes a little cosmic pushback," she said, her hands flying over her console. The first volley erupted from our turrets, beams of luminescent energy slicing through the void, striking the shadow with precision. Each hit sent ripples across its surface, a silent roar that reverberated through the stars. Yet the shadow was not to be deterred. It writhed, patterns shifting like smoke, shifting into the spaces between our senses. The air crackled with energy, the ship shuddering as time itself quivered at its edges. "We need to alter our approach," Lynn suggested, eyes bright with inspiration. "If it exists between dimensions, we should try to engage it on its own terms." "Match its frequency," I asked, the idea sparking hope. "Exactly," Lynn said, adjusting the ship's emitters. "We phase our systems to its wavelength. The Echo's gift can help us resonate at its core." Together we work to align the Kestrel with the shadow's frequency, the Echo's energy a guiding song, a melody to counter the discord. As we phased into sync, the ship shimmered, time and space bending around us. The shadow paused, as if sensing our shift, and then attacked with renewed ferocity, a flurry of dark energy seeking to overwhelm us. But we were ready. United in purpose, the Kestrel's systems adapted, the Echo's light weaving through the shadow's form with surgical precision. We became a beacon of stability in the storm, our unity a shield against the chaos. The shadow recoiled, tendrils retracting and dissipating into nothingness. The rift stabilized, its light burning brighter, a beacon heralding a new dawn. "I think it's retreating," Tara declared, triumph in her voice. "We did it." The Kestrel settled into the familiar cadence of space, the presence of the shadow diminishing until it was but a whisper in the cosmic sea. We had protected the convergence, preserved the fragile balance holding reality together. Guardians of the Echo, I murmured, the title resonating in my chest with newfound clarity. We weren't just wanderers, we were part of something greater, an intricate dance between light and shadow, woven into the fabric of the universe itself. As we withdrew from the rift, the Echo's voice drifted through us once more, a gentle farewell and a pledge of kinship. The tapestry of existence stretched boundless before us, and in its midst we found our path, a journey of discovery and protection, guided by the whispering echoes of time. Part 10: The Harmonics of Destiny. The Kestrel sailed through the familiar unknown, the universe stretching wide and wonder-filled beneath the canopy of stars. We had emerged from the rift, guardians in truth now, sworn to protect the delicate balance of the cosmos. Yet even as we left behind the shimmer of the Echo's domain, a hum of potential lingered, a melody that hinted at paths yet to be explored. Feels like the calm before another storm, Tara mused, her feet propped up on the console as she watched the view outside. Think we've earned a vacation yet? I chuckled, the weight of our recent trials lightened by the camaraderie we shared. If the universe decides to stop unraveling for a bit, we might just get one. Lynn's fingers danced over her console as she scanned the surrounding space. For now, we should take stock of everything we've learned. The Echo's knowledge is unprecedented. The Echo had imbued us with a deeper understanding, an awareness of the cosmic weave that linked all things. Its gift was one of insight, of the harmonics that underscored existence, a symphony of life and matter, time and space. As we drifted, the ship's sensors pinged, a signal, faint and distant, pulsing in the dark. It was a rhythm, a pattern that resonated with the newfound harmonics we had come to understand. Another guardian, Tara queried, her eyes lighting up with curiosity. Or something calling to us, Lynn replied, intrigued by the possibility. The coordinates are within range. I leaned forward, the captain's chair creaking softly beneath me. Let's check it out. If it's connected to the Echo, we need to know. We set course for the source, the Kestrel gliding through the velvet expanse with purpose. Stars wheeled past, their light stretching into silvery threads as we approached the signal's origin. The coordinates led us to a planet, its silhouette a shadow against the star-speckled backdrop. It was a world caught in twilight, its atmosphere a swirling tapestry of color and cloud. From its surface emanated the call, a note of singular clarity in the cosmic chorus. I'm getting strong readings, Lynn said, peering closer at her screen. Massive energy output, but it's controlled, structured. Like an amplifier, Tara suggested, her mind already working through scenarios. Or a beacon, Lynn added, one that's been here a long time. We descended toward the planet, the ship shivering as we breached its atmosphere. Below, vast landscapes spread out, endless oceans, verdant forests, and towering structures of crystalline design, sparkling in the perpetual dusk. Welcome to paradise, Tara murmured, awe-threading her voice as she took in the view. The signal drew us to a structure at the heart of the largest continent, a spire that sang with the light, its surface a kaleidoscope of iridescence. As we landed beside it, the harmonics grew stronger, vibrating in our bones. This is some impressive architecture, Lynn said as we disembarked, the ground firm and welcoming underfoot. Ancient steps led us to the spire's entrance, the air alive with energy. Inside, the walls shimmered with glyphs, symbols that pulsed with the rhythm of the world, echoing the song we had followed. I don't think this is just a beacon, I said, running a hand over the glyphs. They were warm to the touch, alive with stories untold. It's a repository, a place of memory. As if in response, the chamber brightened, the song swelling into a rich tapestry of sound. The glyphs shifted, revealing images, histories, and futures woven together in a dance of light. It's showing us, Lynn breathed, her eyes wide with understanding, the story of those who came before the original guardians. The images told of a civilization that once flourished here, a people intertwined with the cosmic cycles, attuned to the harmonics that shaped their world. They had built this beacon to share their wisdom, to guide those who would come after. They were like us, Tara said, her voice softened by the connection she felt with these long-gone beings, guardians of the balance. In that moment, I realized the true gift of the echo. The harmonics were not just a tool, but a legacy. We were part of an unbroken chain, bound by the same purpose that had driven countless others before us. The images shifted, the music rising to a crescendo, a call to action, an invitation to continue the work that had been started so long ago. We're not just preserving the balance, I said, the truth resonating within me. We're part of it, part of a larger harmony. As we stood in that ancient chamber, the song of the spire enveloped us, a promise that we would chart the unknown, defend the light, and weave our own threads into the cosmic tapestry. Together we would embrace the harmonics of destiny, guardians of a story that would echo through time, forever singing the song of the stars.